Good evening and welcome to the 7 o'clock English news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq greets the presidents of Armenia, Malta and Governor General of Belize on their country's independence anniversary. The Sultan advances 8 spots in the Global Innovation Index for the year 2021 and achieves advanced ranks globally in a number of sub-indicators. And the Ministry of Health reports no deaths and 36 new cases of COVID-19 in the Sultanate. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq sent cable of greetings to His Excellency Armen Sarkisyan, President of Armenia, on his country's independence anniversary. His Majesty the Sultan sent cable of greetings to Her Excellency Froila Zalem, Governor General of Belize, on her country's independence anniversary. His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq also sent cable of greetings to His Excellency George Vella, President of Malta, on his country's independence anniversary. The Sultanate jumped 19 spots in innovation output as it came first globally in the ratio of science and engineering graduates out of the total number of graduates. The Sultanate also came 10th globally in the higher education indicator. The report of the World Intellectual Property Organization showed that the Sultanate has advanced 8 spots in the Global Innovation Index for the year 2021 and is now ranked 76th globally. The Sultanate achieved advanced ranks globally in a number of sub-indicators, including 13th globally in the indicator of government expenditure on school students. The Innovation Input Sub-Index measures the factors of the national economy that include innovative activities and is based on 5 areas: institutions, human capital and research, infrastructure, market sophistication, and business sophistication. The Ministry of Health announced no deaths and 36 new cases of COVID-19 in the Sultanate. It also registered 113 recovered cases. The ministry also reported that the total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the Sultanate reached 303,459, while the total numbers of deaths reached 4,093. The total recovered cases reached 293,957. The ministry indicated that the number of inpatients during the last 24 hours is 3, bringing the total number to 51, which 22 are in intensive care units. The number of those vaccinated with 1 dose against COVID-19 in the Sultanate reached around 2,810,000 since the start of the national immunization campaign. The number corresponds to around 80% of the total targeted categories. Meanwhile, those vaccinated with 2 doses exceeded 1,826,000 individuals, with 52% of the total targeted categories. The Ministry of Health extensively continues the vaccination campaign in various governorates of the Sultanate. The vaccination centers witnessed today a good turnout, which reflects society members' awareness on the importance of vaccination against COVID-19. Oman Development Bank, ODB, plays a vital role in funding the main economic sectors in the Sultanate, which contributes in pushing the economic development wheel in the Sultanate. In the Governorate of Brahmi, the bank achieved high percentage in the number of loans rendered to projects of various sectors. The Oman Development Bank funded 282 projects in the Governorate of Brahmi for a value of 2 million Oman Riyals during the period from 2020 until August 2021. The bank granted 1,465 loans at a value of 11 million Omani Riyals in the last 5 years. The loans provided by the bank were used to support education, fisheries wealth, touristic services, industries, and health and mining sectors. Oman oil price November 2021 delivery reached $72 and 54 cents per barrel. According to Dubai Mercantile Exchange, Oman oil price recorded a decline by 89 cents compared to Friday price. The average price of Oman crude oil September 2021 delivery reached $72.73 per barrel, thus $1.07 higher than the price of August 2021 delivery. Wheat production in the Sultanate for planting season 2020-2021 reached 2,649 tons, recording an increase by 19% compared to the planting season 2019-2020. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources pointed out that the area of land planted with wheat in the Sultanate reached 2,449 acres. The Governorate of Dakhiliya came first, as wheat planted area exceeded 1,100 acres, with 45% out of the total wheat planted area in the Sultanate. The ministry stated that the wheat production in the Governorate of Dakhiliya reached over 1,465 tons. Still to come in News Bulletin. Thousands flee as volcano erupts on Spain's La Palma Island, destroying homes. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The new head of Iran's nuclear agency, Mohammad Islami, called today for the U.S. to remove all sanctions on Iran. In a speech at the General Conference of the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, in Vienna today, Islami reiterated that Iran was still interested in results-oriented negotiations on returning to the agreement, known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. The 2015 accord is aimed at preventing Iran from developing nuclear weapons, which Tehran denies it is seeking. Under its provisions, UN sanctions that severely affected the oil-rich nation's economy were lifted, but Trump reimposed those sanctions unilaterally and added tougher ones when the U.S. pulled out of the pact in 2018. The IAEA's Director General, Rafael Grossi, said he hoped to go back on Tehran very soon for further consultations and pave the way for other important diplomatic efforts.
The United States continues to seek.
Former Algerian President Abdelaziz Bouteflika was laid to rest yesterday in the martyrs section of the capital's main cemetery, quietly honored despite his fall from grace, forced from office after 2 decades. A flower-draped tank with a military escort carried his coffin to El Alia Cemetery special section reserved for those who fought for Algeria's independence from France. President Abdul Majid Tebboune, who on Saturday declared 3 days of mourning, was among the officials at the ceremony. Bouteflika, who had been ailing since a stroke in 2013, died on Friday at the age of 84. Hundreds of citizens stood outside the cemetery, unable to enter until officials had departed. French President Emmanuel Macron praised Bouteflika as a major figure of Algeria's contemporary history. King Mohammed VI of neighboring Morocco also sent his condolences. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres stressed the importance of adhering to the UN's Sustainable Development Goals today as the world leaders began gathering in the UN General Assembly, saying the world is challenged like never before. Guterres said the world has path of the recovery if they chose to take it. The SDGs are a blueprint for fighting poverty and hunger, confronting climate crisis and achieving gender equality within the next 10 years. The UN says SDGs show the way forward to a strong recovery from COVID-19 and a better future for all on a safe and healthy planet.
That's what this SDG moment is all about.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has arrived in New York to co-host a closed-door session with 35 to 41 leaders to get countries to do more leading up to the huge climate negotiations in Scotland in 6 weeks. Those negotiations are designed to be the next step after the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. British Premier had this to say.
These newly industrialized countries say, well, why should we pay such a big price? We need help to move towards green technology. So that's what we want to do. So the $100 billion a year that we need to raise is to support those countries make the transition. But what we're also asking for here at COP is for countries to phase out coal, 2030 for countries that are developed, 2040 for developing countries, and then phase out hydrocarbon internal combustion engine vehicles, cars as well.
And finally, a volcano on Spain's Atlantic Ocean island of La Palma has erupted after a week-long build-up of seismic activity, prompting authorities to evacuate thousands of residents. Lava flows have destroyed some isolated houses and threatened to reach coastal towns. Huge plumes of black and white smoke shot out from a volcanic ridge where scientists had been closely following the accumulation of molten lava below the surface. Officials said some 5,000 people have been evacuated. People on La Palma largely live from farming, and officers helped evacuate animals today, with experts predicting the eruption could last for weeks or even months. La Palma has a population of 85,000 and is one of the 8 islands in Spain's Canary Islands archipelago. The last volcanic eruption on the island was 50 years ago and lasted 3 weeks. Watching the Sultan of Oman television before tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Hatham bin Tariq greets the presidents of Armenia, Malta and Governor General of Belize on their country's independence anniversary. The Sultan advances 8 spots in the Global Innovation Index for the year 2021 and achieves advanced ranks globally in a number of sub-indicators. And the Minister of Health reports no deaths and 36 new cases of COVID-19 in the Sultanate. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from all of us here in the newsroom and the studios. Good night.